I want to talk about the reality of entrepreneurship and what it really does mean to be a founder and a business owner. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Over the last 2 weeks, I've generated over 10,000 followers on my Instagram. I have closed my first high ticket deal. Things on the outside are going really well, but there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't really see on the inside. I mean, yes, I have hit some milestones that I have really been working hard for. So I do give myself a pat on the back for that, because it's always been a dream of mine to get a loyal community, generate a following of people who actually believe in the stuff that I'm talking about. Not only that, but also being able to fully generate income for myself from nothing. And that was another thing that I've always really wanted to do. So after I closed that first deal, it really hit different, because after so long of just working hard and going day in and day out and just putting my all into something, into my craft, into learning skills and building my business and making my content and making my YouTube videos, after so long, I think it finally started to pay off, and it felt really good for about 5 minutes. And the reason being was because after those 5 minutes, time passes like everything else. And then you realize that you still have to make shit happen. You still have to obviously fulfill on that promise, but you still have to generate more income. And that's the problem. It's hard because you're not guaranteed anything in entrepreneurship. You're quite literally thrown into the wolves. You're not guaranteed anything in life. And that's the thing about being a founder and being an entrepreneur. That's hard. You don't know when the next paycheck is coming in. You don't know when that next deal is going to be closed. You don't know when that next flow of leads are going to come and when it's going to become evergreen and when your content's going to blow up. And you don't know when your video is going to go viral. So I think it's just the uncertainty, which is the harsh truth about it. And the fact that no matter what happens this month, the next month can be making absolutely $0. And so I just like to remind myself of that. And I like to really just be honest about this business and the reality of entrepreneurship in general, because you honestly are living off yourself. And I really do like that fact, because you are responsible for everything. Obviously, some people are more grateful than others, and some people are more fortunate because we have a support system. Like I have my family, I have a bed to sleep on, I have a roof over my head, so I'm very grateful. But the reality is, for a lot of people, that they gotta put food on the table, they gotta pay their bills, and there's all these different things that are just things that can't be flowing with an uncertain income, if that makes sense. But I like to remind myself that every single day is a new day for an opportunity, and everything can change in an instant. And what really made me gravitate towards entrepreneurship was having control of that uncertainty. I know what I'm about to say is going to contradict what I've been talking about and what entrepreneurship is, because entrepreneurship is uncertainty, right? But what do I mean when I say controlling the uncertainty? When I say controlling the uncertainty, I actually mean being able to control how hard you work, because the amount of work that you put in, the amount of videos you put out, the more leads you get, the more deals you close, the more money you generate. And so I really do think certainty and working hard play hand in hand, because if you really do work extremely hard and you give it your all, and you have a support system, you have people who can lean on for mentorship, for guidance, for the right direction. Because if I didn't have my mentor, if I didn't have the people around me and the people guiding me in the right direction and the support system, like my family, my friends, my girlfriend, all of these things, they all play a significant role into where I'm at today. And so I don't think I would have been able to generate over 10,000 followers in less than 2 weeks. I would definitely not be able to have closed my first deal. And with all this to be said, I'm extremely grateful for all of the things that I've gone through and where I'm at today, because if it wasn't for everything that's happened, if it wasn't for the hardship, if it wasn't for my support system and for my mentor especially, having the right guidance and knowing exactly how to execute on what it is that I was doing, there's absolutely no way that I would be able to be in a place where I'm at right now. One of the hardest things about entrepreneurship is the uncertainty aspect. A lot of people overlook it. A lot of people think that, you can build a business. If you make 10K a month, you make 20K a month, you can continue making 20K a month every single month. But it's really not the truth. The truth is, you are never guaranteed anything in life and in business, especially business, because as a founder, as a business owner, you are solely responsible for the amount of income that you generate. And the amount of work that you put in is clearly correlated to the amount of money that you're going to make with your business. Doesn't matter how much money you make this month, you need to still do that the same month after. And so it's quite literally a really long process in order to create an abundance of income and passive income. And passive income isn't even a question. What the hell am I talking about? out, like passive income is like way down, later down the line. But create income first. Create some kind of income. Learn a high income skill. Learn some kind of skill that is valuable that you can teach to somebody. And that was one of the things that I really had to figure out, was learning that skill, learning how to convey it in a way that was valuable to somebody, that was clear, that someone could understand, and that could be digestible, and that wasn't too overwhelming for a beginner and for the person that I was targeting and the person that I was speaking to. The number one way to really combat the uncertainty of business and in life in general is just to work hard. You have to combat uncertainty with hard work. Understand that leaving everything on the floor is essential to knowing that you are going to make things work. Because if you're not working hard, if you're kind of just coasting through it, you're going through the motions and you get comfortable and you hit the pillow at night and you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and that's not good enough, because you're never going to get to where you want to go if you are settling and if you're getting stagnant with where you're at. And I think the people who leave it all on the floor and leave everything on the table when you hit the pillow at night are the most successful in business, and they're the most successful in life in general too, because no matter what happens, they have done everything in their power to make it happen and to put it all on the floor and to just ultimately create this life for themselves that is surrounded around great habits. And I truly believe that making great habits is the true and the best way to fight the uncertainty. So the people who are most successful are the ones who can create great habits. And by building towards something every single day, little by little, by tiny increments, every kind of small increment that you put into every single day is going to grow so exponentially. For me this year, it was talking to the camera, it was learning how to be a consultant, it was learning how to be a better communicator. I think that's one of the number one things that I've been working on for myself, is just being a better communicator and talking to the camera a bit better. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that has honestly helped me in my business and has also generated a lot of the followers and the income that I have created with my business itself. And so learn one skill and focus on doing one thing. Focus on one thing. Focus on the little incremental small steps that you need to do in order to get to that big ultimate goal. You should always understand what the longer term goal is, what the big mega goal is, but you really do have to know every step of the way what you have to do, even on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, what needs to get done every single day that's going to push me to that goal. It really was tough though, to get to where I'm at right now, even though it's just the beginning, but to actually get to that first deal closed, to get to this point where, you know, I have this abundance of high quality leads and followers, it really did take so much sacrifice. I had to seriously cut out every single distraction that was around me. There were so many different things and so many different people telling me, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should try e-com, you should try this business model. And then there's so many different videos that I'm following and so many different influences around me on my YouTube and my Instagram, thinking, what should I do? What video should I make? What direction should I go with my life right now? And I was in this period of time where I was figuring things out, which I think is very important, because I think every person needs to have a moment or a season where they're figuring things out. And for me, that season was in the first quarter of 2025. It really did take that entire season to lock in, to understand where I was at and to know what I wanted to do. And in order for me to actually figure out what I actually wanted to do and what I really wanted out of life and out of the business that I wanted to build and the things that I wanted to achieve, was to seriously lock in and try every single thing. Everything that I wanted to do, I was doing everything. I was trying as hard as I could to stick with one thing, but I think the one thing that really did stick with me was creating content. And I think out of that entire experience, making content was the one thing that really did gravitate towards me, and it's part of the reason why I am still making content and the reason why I have always made content. I have always been a creator. I have always been that type of person to have that creative mind, and so I really did lean on that. And I started building skills around that. I started building skills around content in order to actually build out a business, like sales, like lead generation, marketing, even like consulting, because that's a skill in itself. All these things are skills that I need to teach someone into my business. And I really do believe that I have built out something really amazing and that a lot of people will be able to benefit from. And I just know that like I can give someone, one person, doesn't matter what the niche is, I can give somebody so much value for whatever it is that they need help doing, as long as I have access to what their struggles are or they're at in their business. If I can understand where someone's at with their content, with their business, with their sales funnel, I can pinpoint exactly how we can structure out a system to fix it, how to make a small tweak to fix it, and to start generating more income and more revenue. Ultimately, it's all about just finding that one thing.